Canada has long been seen as one of the most welcoming destinations for international students. With its high-quality universities, multicultural environment, and generous post-study work opportunities, it has attracted hundreds of thousands of students from India, China, Nigeria, the Philippines, and many other countries. But as of September 2025, new updates to Canada's student visa policies are sending shockwaves across the global education community. These changes are designed to address rising concerns about housing shortages, financial strain, and the growing number of students seeking permanent residency. Unfortunately, while some of the rules aim to improve the system, they also bring challenges that could make studying in Canada much harder. So, what exactly has changed? How will these new policies affect students planning to start their studies this year or next? And how does Canada compare with other destinations like the UK, USA, and Australia in 2025? In this video, we'll break down the major updates, explore why the Canadian government is making these decisions, and analyze what this means for the future of international education. We'll also hear the human side, real-life impacts on students and families, and end with a discussion of possible outcomes in 2026 and beyond. Stay with us until the end, because this September 2025 update is one that every aspiring international student needs to understand. Here are the most important updates announced by Canada's Immigration Department this September. Higher proof of funds requirement students must now show 40% higher minimum savings compared to 2024. This means a student going to Toronto or Vancouver may need to prove they have between $25,000 to $30,000 available for living expenses in addition to tuition fees. Cap on study permits. For the first time, Canada has placed a numerical cap on new student visas. Provinces like Ontario and British Columbia will see fewer permits, while smaller provinces such as Manitoba and Atlantic Canada may receive more. Stricter rules for private colleges. Many students previously chose private colleges with easier entry requirements. Now, only programs at designated learning institutions, DLIs, with strong reputations are being prioritized. Work hour adjustments. Temporary unlimited work hours, introduced during labor shortages, have ended. The new rule reinstates a limit of 24 hours per week during academic terms. Post-graduation work permit, PGWP, changes. Graduate students in high-demand fields such as healthcare, engineering, and technology will still qualify for longer work permits. However, students in shorter or non-priority programs will get reduced PGWP durations. Stronger genuine student assessments. Immigration officers will now assess not just financial and academic background, but also long-term intent, to filter out applicants who are primarily interested in immigration rather than education. Together, these changes are reshaping Canada's international student system, creating new challenges but also new opportunities depending on one's background and field of study. At first glance, these updates might feel unfair, but the Canadian government has specific reasons for tightening the system. Housing crisis. Canada is facing one of the worst housing shortages in decades. In big cities like Toronto and Vancouver, rents have skyrocketed. Local citizens have criticized the government for bringing in too many students without preparing housing infrastructure. Economic concerns. While international students contribute billions of dollars to Canada's economy, critics argue that universities and colleges have become overly dependent on them for revenue. The government wants to ensure education quality, not just financial profit. Labor market balance. Many students came to Canada primarily for work opportunities, sometimes taking low-wage jobs unrelated to their studies. By capping work hours and limiting permits, the government hopes to focus on genuine education first. Public pressure and politics. Immigration has become a sensitive political issue. To maintain public support, the government is showing that it's taking action to manage numbers responsibly. In short, while these changes create difficulties, they are also a response to real social and economic pressures inside Canada. How do Canada's September 2025 updates compare with other countries? United Kingdom. The UK recently banned most dependents from joining international students, except for PhD programs. Its graduate route allows only 2 years of work after studies. Compared to Canada, it feels more restrictive. Australia has also tightened visa requirements in 2025, raising financial thresholds and reducing work rights. Like Canada, it's facing public pressure over migration and housing. United States, the US still has tough visa processes but offers strong long-term opportunities if students secure H-1B work visas. Unlike Canada, there is no national cap on study permits. Despite stricter rules, Canada remains more flexible in offering permanent residency pathways than the UK or USA. However, affordability is now a major concern. This shows a global trend. Every major study destination is becoming stricter, but Canada still maintains some advantages, especially for students in priority fields like technology, health, and engineering. Let's imagine the impact of these changes on real students. Priya from India. Priya's parents saved for years to send her to Canada. Under the old rules, they had just enough. But now, with higher proof of funds, she must either delay her plans or take a massive loan. Ahmed from Nigeria. Ahmed enrolled in a private college for business administration. With the new restrictions, his program may no longer qualify for a post-graduation work permit. His career path has suddenly become uncertain. Sophia from the Philippines. Sophia works part-time in a restaurant while studying nursing. With new work hour limits, she can no longer earn enough to cover rent in Toronto. She may have to move to a smaller city to survive. Lee from China. Lee is studying computer science, a high-demand field. While the rules are tough, he benefits from an extended post-study work permit, meaning his chances of becoming a permanent resident are stronger. These examples show a mixed picture. For some students, the path is harder, while for others in priority sectors, opportunities remain strong. Universities, landlords, and local communities are all watching closely to see how these changes play out. What might happen in the future? Experts believe student numbers will decline in 2025, especially in non-priority programs. Smaller provinces may benefit as more permits shift away from overcrowded cities. Tuition fees could rise as universities struggle to balance budgets. Policy adjustments may follow in 2026 if the Canadian economy suffers from labour shortages. Long-term, Canada still values international students, but the focus is shifting from quantity to quality. To summarise, the September 2025 Canada Student Visa Update brings both challenges and opportunities. The higher proof of funds, reduced work hours, caps on permits, and stricter program requirements are clearly a blow to many students. Yet for those entering high-demand fields, the door to long-term opportunities in Canada remains open. This is why the news feels bittersweet, harder for many, but still rewarding for some. So, what do you think? Are these changes fair, protecting Canada's housing, economy, and labour market? Or are they shutting doors on talented young people who deserve a chance? If you were planning to study abroad in 2025, would you still choose Canada or look at other destinations? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on international education, immigration, and global politics.